Russia, East Europe, and Central Asia condemns Russia's unprovoked, unjustified, and inhumane invasion of Ukraine. There's no justification for Russia to conduct military actions in Ukraine, and all purported rationales for this onslaught on a peaceful and democratic country that poses no threat to Russia are falsifications and distortions of reality and of history. The Putin regime must immediately stop all hostilities and withdraw its troops. The world must unify to stop this purposeless aggression, which is producing untold misery, death, and destruction. We echo the sentiments expressed by the UW System President Tommy Thompson in his statement of March 1st, and our hearts go out to the people of Ukraine as they fight against Vladimir Putin's invasion of their homeland. Unprovoked attacks on another country's sovereignty violate basic human norms as well as core values espoused by universities such as University of Wisconsin-Madison. I just want to note that why I'm bringing that up first is that from all of my years in teaching, 23 years on topics in political science related to Russian and Eurasian politics and politics in the former Soviet states, it's very unusual for universities to take an explicit political stand. As you may know, in this country, in this state, we have some divided politics, and we're supposed to stay out of it as faculty and stick to academics. But this is a moment where people are dropping all of that and saying everyone needs to come together and stand up. And I just want to say, just purely from an analytical perspective, this is a critical moment in global politics. I started college myself in the fall of 1988, and after the Berlin Wall fell in 1989, I went to Eastern Europe, to East Berlin, to then Czechoslovakia, to Hungary, in 1990, in the winter of 1990, just to see what was happening, you know, because it seemed like something big. And in my, there was such hope in 1989, in 1991, in so many years. Other things in the world too, the end of apartheid in 1994. There looked like peace in Northern Ireland, in Israeli-Palestinian conflict in the 90s. And then things in the 2000s have started to go darker and darker. Every year of Putin's reign, things have gotten darker. And it was looking really, just you're teaching students, look, we have populism there, nationalism here, we have Trump embracing dictators all around the world just last year. And, I just think now we're in a new moment. It's a different time for people to say, okay, let's stand on the side of something right, stand on the side of democracy. I'm so sorry that Ukraine is the one that's literally in the front line of this struggle, but I just want to note this is a worldwide struggle for people everywhere to do the right thing, not to just say, should I, maybe no, but just get involved and do the right thing today. And I want to just say some practical things. From the study of civil wars and war, etc. Russia is committing war crimes. They're targeting civilians without question. And this is not an accident. It's also not just bumbling bad military strategy. It's a strategy to demoralize people in Ukraine, to take the spirit that's you're seeing here and make people think it's hopeless and they have no choice but to give up, that they're just going to bomb Mariupol to make it look like Grozny, and everybody will just say, okay, that's enough, let's just have peace. The thing that's going to keep Ukraine going, Ukraine is a large country. It had 44 million people. Now 43 million have temporarily left, but it's a large country, and it can win if it doesn't give up, and it's not going to give up if people stay, not just stay united, but convey to people in Ukraine that the world is on their side, which is what is going on now. So we have to think, what can we do? And one of the things, if you look around the U.S., as I follow politics in the U.S., you see that within days of the invasion, this became a bipartisan, anti-Putin, anti-Russian moment in America, that both Republicans and Democrats are pretty united, except, as Anton noted, Tucker Carlson and a couple of others are not. But the vast majority of both Democrats and Republicans are on the side of Ukraine and against this invasion. And we need to, everyone in America needs to keep that going, keep that support going. And what can you do? Okay, I'll say, I think Ruslana is doing a fantastic job organizing this, but if every person has a chance to talk to anyone you can talk to, your friends, your neighbors, the parents on your kids' sports team, anyone, no matter what their previous political commitment, you can say, hey, do you know what's happening in Ukraine? Do you want to hear some more about it? Talk on that level, whatever you can. I myself have agreed to every media interview to speak everywhere, to high schools, to libraries, on Zoom, to libraries. Everyone just get the message out, because this is how you build a grassroots movement of support. In addition, all of us can very easily, every day if you want to, send an email to our representative, Mark Pocan, to Tammy Baldwin, to Ron Johnson, actually with the same message, which is to keep up U.S. pressure against Russia in support of Ukraine, and to do what? To send military aid to Ukraine, to send money to Ukraine, and most important, or maybe not most important, but in addition, a very simple thing: visa-free travel for all Ukrainians to the U.S. Visa-free travel, because the refugee process is a years-long process. We have admitted, I checked yesterday, 512 refugees so far from Ukraine into the U.S. This is very small, and even if we had a commitment today for more refugees, it takes forever to get this, the hearings, all of the paperwork, etc. But right now, visa-free travel is what's going to take some of the pressure off of countries like Poland, and it's going to allow Americans that want to help concretely to help temporarily. And just the final thing I want to add is very simple: just give money. You know, like on this table here, but this is a very simple thing. We're asked to give money all the time to different causes, but this is a case where I think humanitarian aid really makes a difference right now, and sending money. There's so many good organizations on the ground that are working there. Just find one and give money. But every one of us can do as much as we can in this country to keep up the pressure to support Ukraine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yoshiko. I wanted to follow up on a couple of things. The point of neutrality, right? There is probably a famous quote out there that you can probably quote better than me, that neutrality